All right, guys, so we got a really good video sent in by a subscriber, Roberto. Shout out to you, Roberto. This is right up my alley. I am the king of the overgrown teenagers. I am the king of being roasted for saying that I haven't cared much about retirement or saving money. I'm the king of it. And this guy talks about in better depth and explanation what I kind of talk about at times, how it's a horrible trade-off to work 60 plus years grinding and saving and just straining your brain on shaving pennies and trying to plan for the future. You do that for 60 plus years to hopefully get 10, 15, 20 years of retirement out of it. Doesn't sound like a good trade-off to me, if I'm being honest. But I've gotten heat for my opinions in the past. Why not get a little more heat? This guy explains it very well. I want you guys to hear it, and then I'm going to expand on this a little more when he's done. So let's check the video out, shall we?
For the future, my father, he lived at a job, he worked at a job he didn't like all his life. He got his weekends off, he got his vacation time, he took his vacations, he dreamed and lived for the future. At a job he didn't like, working with people he didn't really like, buying things he didn't really want. And so when he retired at 60, he was dead at 62. He never enjoyed a moment. And you say, well, that's so rare. No, it's not. It's a common story I hear all the time.
Yeah, that is very common. I've actually had some of you guys argue with me about that as well, where I talk about as you get older, you know, you should be more and more wanting to be physically active and ambitious and motivated and driven, because without purpose, the human body, mind, spirit, soul, it tends to fall apart. Purpose, very important. Goals, very important. What do I always say? Should always stay improving. Anyway, I apologize. My friend, carry on.
If you're not dead at 60, your health is declining at 60. By 70, nearly all men are into serious health decline. You're looking, if you retire at 60, 65, by 70, 75, you maybe have 10 good years of retirement, 15 at the most. Nearly all the men I know at 70 and 75, if their health isn't in decline, it probably is, their vitality is greatly reduced. Your ability to enjoy the golden years you've created is so low. By 80, virtually no men are out enjoying the golden years. They're enduring until they die. So the question remains, what's the point of prolonging a life you don't enjoy? How much better to create a life that you love, that you enjoy? Let's just think about the math. This is simple math. 60 years of unpleasant life to gain a pipe dream of 20 really good golden years. That's a pipe dream. It's not going to happen. Your health is declining. I'm 60. I don't have the vitality. I don't have the youth. I can't walk as far. I can't enjoy the time I have. By 70, I expect it to be drastically diminished from what it is now. So you're trading 60 years for possibly 10 years. That's terrible math. I can't understand how anybody believes that's a good deal. But they do, because they've been brainwashed into believing it. There's just nothing else to it. From the moment you go to school, you're trained to think this way. Every minute of your life, you're trained to think, plan for the future, plan for the future. Now ask yourself this, who wins in that scenario? Why is society so dead set on you planning for your future and having an unpleasant life today? I'll tell you who wins. The corporations win. They get a workhorse, a slave, that you work all your life. You go to work, you go to your cubicle, you go to McDonald's, and that's where you're going now. You're going to McDonald's, and you slave away, and then you listen to the commercials, and you go out and you buy a bunch of their crap, and they get rich, the corporation.
And also the politicians that are collecting gobs and gobs of tax revenue. I would argue they're benefiting more than the corporations, in my opinion.
Corporations get rich, you work yourself to death, and then at 60 they put you out to pasture. Now at least at one time they used to feed you and take really good care of you after 60 with a pension, with Social Security. Those are gone. So it's not only a pipe dream, not only is it terrible math and a terrible trade to live a life you don't enjoy for a life that you will like, a very short life that you'll like, 40, 60 years of life you don't like for 20, possibly, maybe 20 years that you will like. What's terrible math? But now the 20 years that you will love is gone. You're not getting a pension. Maybe you're saying...
So So the video starts over there. That was the end of it. But I want to expand on this. I understand the safety and security of working towards retirement, saving for the future. But one thing I've learned, and I think all of us have learned in the last however many years with all the craziness that's gone on, as scary as this reality is to face, not much of our stability is very sure. Not much of it is very sure at all. So much can be taken from you. So much can be destroyed. How quickly your entire empire, and I'm using that like metaphorically, how quickly your entire empire can crumble and be taken from you. Life is crazy, man. You just never know what's going to happen. And like I say all the time, the last 10 years, I've lost so many people that were close to me of all ages and all walks of life. And it has just changed my perspective a lot, and I just can't escape it. And I make the jokes of being the overgrown teenager all the time. And I know I'm irresponsible in many ways, and I have been. And you guys give me heat for that, and I'm sure it's well deserved. But I still stand by what I say. I've got friends right now that work very hard. You know, they work very hard. Multiple jobs. They never go out to eat. They never buy any new clothes. They drive a piece of junk car. Every penny goes in the bank. They're just saving and saving and saving to retire. They're miserable. Their health isn't all that good. Mental health, surely not good. What does all this matter if and when your mental and physical health is being destroyed or gets destroyed? None of this matters if you're not healthy. Health is number one. And I'm not saying be irresponsible and just, chase bliss and be happy all the time. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is this. If I take a step back and I think about my life and I trade the 60 years like he's talking about, I trade the 60 years and live super miserably, which you're going to have to do if you're going to want to save to like retire, well, you're going to live relatively miserably for 60 years or what have you, right around that. Just to hopefully, which it probably won't even happen, hopefully have those last 10, 15, 20 years, you're able to just cruise along happily and stress-free. I don't buy it. I don't have much faith in that happening for any of us. I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's a good ROI. I don't. Now, again, I'm not saying be irresponsible and throw caution to the wind and spend every penny on 304s and booger sugar, but man, judge for yourself. Judge for yourself how much fun is enough fun. I'm a firm believer that you should be relatively happy with your everyday life, your routines. Now, I'm relatively lucky because I enjoy going to the gym. I enjoy like meal prepping and cooking. I enjoy simple things like spending time with family and stuff. So I'm pretty lucky in that regard. I don't need to travel the world and buy expensive plane trips. No, not at all. But I know people that are hyper focused on retirement, and I can see it. Their health is going down the drain physically. Mental health is going down the drain. And I don't think it's going to be worth it when it's all said and done. Even best case scenario. If it plays out the way they want it to play out, I don't think it's going to be worth it. I really don't. Maybe I'm wrong. You live the way you want to live, and I'm going to live the way I want to live. Anyway, like the video. If you did like the video, that helps me out. Lets YouTube know that the video is worthwhile, the channel is worthwhile. Tells YouTube that you like the video. Someone else might like it too. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You come around all the time, you might as well subscribe. Until next time, guys, I'm going to leave you the same way that I always try to leave you. Take your vitamins, hit the gym, and always stay improving. Do you even lift, bro? I hope you do. God bless. Be well. I'm out.